Hi, I am KJ on Two Wheels, and today I'm going to be reviewing, again, the Yamaha XJ6 Diversion. A couple of subscribers who found me. So, this is the Diversion F, no, the Diversion Simple, because this is not the one I already tested about a year ago, or a year and a half ago, which had the full fairing all the way down. This is just a half faired version, and this is a used bike, and it's for sale on that dealership for €3,500 if you're interested. I'm doing them a little favor, and it's basically a new bike. It's 5 years old, it's from 2009, but it's only got 7,000 kilometers on the clock, which is like 4,000 miles. It's basically a new bike, and just like any Diversion, you've got your usual stuff. Dunlop tires at the front, 120/100 at the rear. Dual disc brakes with one piston each, disc brake at the rear, this lovely exhaust tucked under the bike, single shock absorber at the rear, adjustable, 4 cylinders, 87 horsepower, and the hefty amount of torque. You got your Yamaha tank pad, and basically the whole bike is brand new. It's awesome. It's just awesome. I love this bike. I really do. So let's see what she can do. Just a quick walk around. As soon as you sit on it, you notice it is low, and when you're riding along, you can feel the weight being around here. It feels like the weight is just about here, underneath your knees, and pretty low and compact. And I love this sound. Oh damn, I love this sound, and I love the way this bike rides. And this is exactly the same route I did on the other one a year ago. The whole point of this is to see how do I go after almost a year and a half afterwards. Whoops. Oh, I love it. I do love this bike. The engine is very powerful, but it's not too much. It's a mid-sized engine. It does surge ahead, but it's not that overwhelming acceleration of the MT-09, the Super Duke, VFR 1200s, Tenerés, etc. It's not a liter bike, it's a 600cc engine with 80-something horsepower, but it is lovely to ride. And from what I've seen, what I've felt so far, because I have been riding this for a while now, the engine works kind of like this. At 4,000 RPM, it's got oomph. Then at 6.5, it's got double oomph. And from 9 to 11, it kind of tails off slightly. It's got less torque there, but the noise is lovely. And it still goes. It keeps on going all the way up to 12. So it's a really nice engine to ride. It's very easy to ride, very manageable. The throttle is very smooth. It's not jerky at all. Everything about this bike is smooth. I love it. I've loved it the first time I rode it. Now I love it even more. This particular version does not have ABS, which is one of the reasons why I'm not buying this one right now. Because riding in the rain, I just don't feel comfortable without the ABS. Gear shifts are silky smooth. Suspension is awesome, it's really comfortable. It's a really comfy bike. And it corners like a dream. What I've noticed is that because of the hunched over position, it's really easy to do this. This is really comfortable to do and intuitive. It just feels correct to do this, you know? It simply feels like I'm riding it the way it should. Oh, this bump wasn't that bad. But it is uncanny. This has got to have a stiffer suspension because it's lower to the ground, so it doesn't have all that travel, and it's sportier, but still, I went over that particular bump, which I know really well, not much of an issue. Maybe it's because I'm lower to the ground? I don't know. I just had no issues with that. It corners better than my NC700, which is high praise indeed, okay? Believe it or not, the NC700 does corner majestically. It's great, but this one's better. Should be. It's a sporty bike. So it better damn corner better, and it does. It's really stable on cornering, which is something I love. Makes you feel very safe when you're cornering it. Hey, look, the subscribers are there. Little 125s. And they come here to have some fun. Why? Why not? It is a motorcycle, ain't it? Oh, that felt so good! That felt seriously awesome. Oh, cool. That kind of collapsed. So, what I like about these bikes, and I do love my sports touring bikes, is that you can go riding like this, family jewels to the tank, sitting straight up, nearly the same way those two guys are riding there, comfortably riding along at a snail's pace, enjoying the scenery. And then you can look down, tuck yourself into the tank and just do like this. Let's check out anyone here. Nope. I can ride like this, or I can put my bum backwards, lean over, and hello, sports bike! So it is a bit of both worlds. And I'm still leaned over, crouching as if I was on a super sport. Doesn't feel silly, doesn't feel awkward. It also feels natural because of the way the bike is built in. Here I go. Oh, that sound is lovely, 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 lovely. Oh. Ah, it feels great. This is such a lovely machine. Granted, if you're used to 600cc bikes, you'll probably feel this a bit lackluster in terms of power. I have to be honest, and I am finding this a bit down on power, but that's because the last few bikes I've been riding, they've been kind of big. After the Super Duke, every bike is going to feel slow, okay? But still, it's not the awesome acceleration of the MT-07, but it is way more than good enough. It goes fantastically well, especially if you rev it up to 5.5, and then you just bonk. And it feels really sporty. I like the handles. I like the handlebars. I like the levers. The stock levers are great. They're really comfy. The brake is adjustable, which is a big plus. See how easy it is to ride around at slow speeds like this? Bye, guys. It's really easy to ride. I love it. It's one of those fantastic in-betweens that does everything, or nearly everything. Actually, believe it or not, this thing can do off-road, because I've said it couldn't do off-roads, and then another vlogger, My Missy and Me, went and showed me, yep, you can take this off-road. Ish. He's a bit of a loon, but he did take one of these off-roads. And yeah, you can do a long trip with this one, because the seat is exquisitely comfortable. You can go balls to the wall, let's try and kill myself, sport riding mode. And you can go at high speed on the highway, which is something my bike doesn't, because this accelerates at an extraordinary rate up to 200 kph, and then it kind of stops at 200. Doesn't really go much more than 200. Some people have taken it to 220. I've tried on this one, couldn't get it over 198, but I was taking quite a bit of a headwind, and well, not such wasn't such a large straight, so might have been that, you know. Might be on the wrong gear, might be cold engine. There's a lot of factors that can affect top speed. I don't know what was it, but I couldn't do it on this particular one. But still, this feels like a completely new bike. It's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Went full throttle on low revs, nothing much happens. Under 4K, nothing really much happens. At least now, with my experience, it's really tame, really sleepy. At 3K, look, 3K. I'll accelerate eventually. So if you want to shoot forward, you keep it over 4. Look, 4, here we go. You can even hear it beginning to sing. At between 4 and 5 it goes like, oh, and then after 6.5 it's ah! Oh, it's such a lovely bike to ride. It's got such a lovely sound, and oh, I love it so much. I love this bike, I really do. You'll probably hear me say I love this bike about 20 times more, but I really, really do. I like the riding position, the intermediate riding position. It's not uncomfortable, it's not too much, it's not too little. I love the whole look of it. Looks like I'm on the Super Sport, but I'm not. The mirrors are pretty cool looking over there, hanging over there. Let's try doing this slightly faster. Oh, there's rocks on the ground. I hate that. This turn is very scary, because you're turning and all you see is that big hole over there in front of you. And this gives you so much confidence that another vlogger with one of these, Portuguese one, he has one called the Black Mamba, and I've actually crossed with him on the road. It's the guy that I met completely by accident on the road. He was coming from Algarve, which is 300 kilometers south, to Porto, which is 300 kilometers north, and by a complete chance I crossed with him on the road because I was going to lunch somewhere I didn't usually go. He was going, oh hey, well, look, that's the Geiger, and I was like, cool, a guy with the XJ6 and a camera. So yeah, that guy, and he hasn't been riding this for that much long, and this is just show you how much confidence it gives. I saw one of his videos of him riding a bit faster, and on one turn he's going a bit more enthusiastically, and he starts scraping the foot pegs, going, whoops, what the hell? Yeah, that's the amount of confidence this bike gives you. You just lean it over until you're scraping foot pegs like it's no big deal. So yeah, unsurprisingly, Yamaha does know how to make a motorcycle. Weird, huh? And from what I've noticed, Honda bikes are usually less spiffy, a bit more boring, more rational bikes. This is my motorcycle for every day. Oh, rather, Honda builds motorcycles. Yamaha, more like bikes. There's always, all the Yamaha bikes I've tested always have a bit of something. They're always sporty, they're always fun. Whether Honda bikes are always very good. They're really good bikes. But sometimes the fun, it's just lacking a bit. But these are always fun. And then you've got Kawasaki, which is pure fun, and whatever else you might need just goes out the window. Has to have the look and the fun, and comfort and practicality, everything else is secondary. But yeah, that's the philosophy, and I really find that Yamahas do have this feature. And I love it. Now, joking aside, why do I like this? I like this because this is just what I need. Not too fast, but not too slow. Practical bike to go commuting, comfortable bike to go commuting, and the occasional longer trip. It's one of what I really love, the in-betweens, the really hard to design in-betweens that can do a bit of everything. This one is leaning slightly towards the sportier side, but it's still a very practical bike. I can ride it with one hand with no issues, waving around like a maniac, okay, over bumps, and oops, sorry, and nothing much. There's not much of an issue. I'm not leaning over like an R6. My back isn't hurting, my wrists aren't hurting, and I'm riding this for quite a while, and it's all cool, right? I love it, I love it, I love it, it's perfect. The only thing I don't like about this, and this is the problem with these bigger bikes, its fuel consumption should be, on my usage, around 5 liters to 100 kilometers, which is about what my car does. My diesel car does 6.5 because of the difference in fuel value. Diesel is cheaper. It would do the same 10 cents to 1 kilometer, or 10 cents per kilometer that my car does. On the other hand, my NC700 does about 6 cents per kilometer in fuel. This should be around 10. It's a bit more. But is the extra fun worth it? Oh yeah. Oh yes, it is. It's less practical than my NC because it doesn't have the tank inside. I can live with that. And between this and the CB650F, and I would really love to be able to test the CBR 650F, because the CBR is the actual competitor to this one. Well, the CBR uses less fuel. It's a more efficient engine. It's a bit tamer at lower revs, from my memory. It doesn't have quite the same oomph at lower revs, but it is a bit harsher at higher revs. So it's got less emotion on one hand and then more emotion on the other end of the rev range. So I'd call them about even. I'd say the Honda engine might have a slightly upper hand, but it's not a big deal. This one has a nicer sound, so let's call it a tie. Handling wise, I did not try the CBR, but between this and the CBF, I'd rather have this. Handling wise, seriously. Practicality, it's the same. You're going to need a top case if you're going to go wearing suit and tie to work like I do and bringing the computer along, so you are going to need a top case, which on the naked bike looks silly, but well, it's more usual. On this one it looks silly and it's unusual, so that's a minus. But I do it. I'd reach the bike, just cover my hands, my eyes, not look at the top case, and just keep on going. Obviously wind protection is very much better on this one than on the naked. On the CBR, again, did not test, it should be about even. I'll call it a tie. So I guess these two are pretty damn tight for the segment. It should be just about the same thing. The Honda uses less fuel. That gives it a slight edge. It's more modern. I don't quite like the dash on the Honda one. I prefer the dash on this one, even though the Honda one has more technology. It's got your fuel consumption and whatnot. This one's easier to read and looks nicer. And yeah, I don't know what to get. I'd really like to get one of these. I have to find one of these. I seriously do. With ABS and the full fared version and race blue. Shouldn't be too hard to find a used one like that, huh? Oh wow. Whoa, dude, seriously, take it easy. Look, 110, let's shift down. I think I'm in 4th gear. And throttle. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to let her sing and let you guys hear her sing. do that not to 100 miles per hour thingy. But I need a straight to do that in, which should be around, oh, here. It's gonna be right about here. The MT-07 thing I did right here, and you can go check out that review. And I did it on these. This is, believe it or not, a pedestrian crossing. For some odd reason, looks like this. So, car coming and go. I've got a smile that looks like the Joker. That was lovely. What a wonderful sound. Oh, that was so good. That felt just so good. It's not just the speed and the acceleration, because frankly I've had better, but it's everything. It's the acceleration, it's the revs going higher and higher, the sound enveloping us in that beautiful, beautiful four-cylinder Banshee wail. It's oh, this bike really, really tugs at the corners of your mouth. Yeah, the XJ6, this is a bike that seriously, seriously tugs at the corners of your mouth. Yeah, I love it. Hey, look, a Ferrari! I would have spent a tenth on this bike, and I'm having way more fun than you are, little Ferrari. Very sorry. And I am a car guy. Oh, man. Okay, granted the MT-07 might be a bit more exciting because of that insane acceleration, but this one has higher top ends. You saw that, I reached 160 with not much of an issue, way earlier than the MT-07. That's because the MT-07 cheats. It has a really short gear, first and second, so that's why it shoots like a maniac in first and second. Third gear is average, and then fourth, fifth, and sixth are pretty long. So that's why it accelerates really hard, and then it kind of tapers off and has some difficulty reaching higher speeds. Also, it's not as aerodynamic as a fared bike, obviously, so there's that. Oh, I didn't talk about the brakes. Well, the brakes are really easy to dose. They're strong, look, like this. See? But they're really easy to choose the strength you want to use, so they're really also easy to use. Everything is easy to use and smooth here, so there's no oh my god, I just touched the brakes and I'm flying over the handlebars feeling. And there's also no how hard do I have to press this to brake. It's also, unsurprisingly, a lovely in-between. But they are very strong. As soon as you start really pushing on the brakes, they brake really nice. If you want to ride slowly like this, they also work pretty well. This is a stop sign, let's brake. Hey, front wheel locked up. Yeah, it works perfectly well like this at slow speeds. It's not awkward. Oh, I have to turn left here. It's not awkward, there's no issue with balance. It's not jerky. You can see I'm going back and forth when I'm trying to keep a steady speed. I stepped on a really large rock. So it's a really easy bike to ride also in town. There's definitely no problems. Oh, this is a stop sign also. Let's stop at the stop signs. I still haven't put my feet down a single time since I came into town. Hey, look, a Labrador. It's a perfectly capable bike of commuting and living inside town for quite a long time. You can see. And then as soon as you get a bit of an open road, you let her rip. Where are you going? Okay. enough. This is not a place to speed. So yeah.